Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Rana in the kitchen cooking authentic Indian cuisine. We're making chicken karahi served with a side of spinach lentils. We are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. So grab a seat, get comfortable. We've got another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I am your host, Kirk Leins, and in our kitchen today is Rana Samad. Hi, Rana.
Hi, Kirk. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
I always enjoy when you're here. You bring us delicious Indian cuisine and just a bright, awesome personality and smile.
Thank you again.
Thank you for being here. So today you've got two more dishes for us.
Yes.
We've got something known as chicken karahi,
That's
which you're
right.
going to explain to us all about.
Okay.
And then you've also got a lentil and spinach side dish.
Yes. As a soup, you can use it, and a side dish too.
Okay, great. So we're going to start with the chicken karahi.
Okay.
Correct? Now, what do we need to make that? Let's start there.
So the chicken karahi means like a special pot, which I have a cast iron pot in which the chicken is cooked.
Okay,
So the karahi is basically the way the pan is being used to cook.
Almost like how you have like tandoori chicken, or like it's cooked in a tandoor oven.
That's very right.
So chicken karahi, and that is an actual karahi pot.
That is a karahi pot. That's
Now,
right.
you said it was cast iron, and it's, I guess, enameled over the cast.
Yes, that's it.
And what makes it a karahi?
The way it is shaped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So something that's in between a pan and a wok, maybe it's a little
Yeah,
rounded
it looks
on the
like,
bottom.
Yes, a little bit rounded, and the material it has been made of,
Gotcha.
cast
Okay,
iron.
so we've got our karahi pot. Now, if one didn't have a karahi pot,
You can just substitute. We can make things easy for ourselves.
We'll just-
Any pan will do it.
we'll just tell
We'll
people
do
we
it.
cooked in a karahi pot.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What do we have ingredients-wise?
For the ingredients, we have the chicken,
Okay.
and here I'm going to use all the crushed spices: crushed black pepper, crushed coriander, cumin, and crushed chilies, and turmeric powder.
And a little bit of salt.
And a salt, and ginger garlic goes well with it.
Ginger and garlic,
Yeah.
and then we've got, is this tomatoes here, or what else do we have?
No,
there?
we cheat a little bit sometime if you have less
What?
tomato.
You cheat? No, I'm not buying that.
So we can use some salsa. So I have a combination of fresh tomatoes and salsa, but
Whoa.
it should be fresh, which I'm using.
Salsa. Okay. All right. So you've combined a store-bought salsa with some fresh tomatoes.
That's what I'm going to use today.
Okay. Now I imagine by looking at this, this is a fresh salsa that you'd get in your deli case as opposed to a jar.
That's very right. Uh-huh.
Okay. And it has a little more consistency, more of like a pico de gallo, a chunkier
Yeah, a
salsa.
little bit chunkier. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? Torrance Farmers Market also sells some wonderful fresh salsas. So if you don't feel like buying tomatoes or chopping a ton of tomatoes, I guess you could get some.
You can do it.
Beautiful. Great. Okay, so where do we start?
So we'll put a little oil, like always.
Okay. And are we gonna start with our chicken, or are we starting with our spices?
No, this time the spices will go after the chicken.
Oh, okay.
So first we'll do our ginger and garlic. Let the chicken saute a little bit, and it changes color.
Okay.
There's a lot of ginger and garlic here.
And this is your ginger and garlic paste that you've made in a blender by adding a little bit of water or vinegar.
A little bit of water and vinegar, so it can.
Okay.
So
When you make, how often do you make these pureed ginger and?
it depends. If you do half a pound of each, it can last you 2 to 3 weeks.
Half
Half a pound.
Oh no, my!
Or if you really want really fresh, you can do once a week too.
Wow. So when you're doing a half a pound of garlic, are you buying that? And skinning it all, or are you buying it already like the whole clothes
everything
without
is
the?
so convenient. You can get without the skin, with the skin, whatever.
Because that's a lot of garlic to peel, I would imagine.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. Well, that smells good already.
So you can hear it
And
simmering a little bit.
I also smell the vinegar a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because typically in the past you've never added this to just the hot pan. There's always been something else in it.
Yeah.
So I've never picked up on the vinegar, but now
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a preservative too, then the chicken can last 2 to 3 days too.
That's great.
So
we like that.
So we can hear the simmering, so it's ready. So
Okay,
if
so
you don't mind passing me the
I
chicken,
do not
please.
mind.
Thank you.
And you're using chicken breast here, but I can imagine you could also use chicken thigh or a
Yeah,
combination.
you can use a whole chicken, but the pieces should be cut small pieces with the bone.
And when you, let's say you use a whole chicken with the bone, do you take the skin off?
Yeah, skin off and the pieces cut.
Right, it's just because that skin is not going to
No,
be great,
great,
right?
yeah,
It's going to
the
just be
skin-
soggy and, yeah.
We'll just saute, let it sit.
So it's almost
For
a
a few
little bit
minutes.
like, it's almost a, yeah, like
You can
like a
just
wok
see-
or a stir fry sort of a,
That's very right. We'll give it a few minutes. So it
yeah,
can
that's probably
change.
not going to take too long, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
So we just let it go there,
Okay.
and in the meantime, all the spices are ready to go.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're cooking this, and then what comes next?
The next, we'll add all our spices.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
but you
all
just need to let it go a little
yeah,
bit further.
I just want to give
Get
it
some
a little.
color.
Yeah, the chicken just changes its color.
Gotcha.
So
And I noticed too that today you've brought some ghee with you, correct?
yeah, the ghee will go in the end.
Oh,
When it's ready
okay.
to serve, then you put the ghee.
And
And
for-
one more item which I'm going to use is julienne cut, what you call this?
Jalapenos?
Not jalapenos, ginger.
Ginger. Okay.
Yeah. Apart, we have the grinded ginger as well as some fresh ginger too.
Gotcha. Now, for people who are unfamiliar with ghee, this is just the Indian word for clarified butter.
That's very right. And it's very healthy too. It has vitamin A, E, and K in there.
And delicious.
Yeah. And it helps, it's a good fat.
Yes.
So it can help with cholesterol, good digestion.
And unlike butter, it doesn't burn.
No, it won't.
Because when you clarify it, it removes all those milk solids that are what burn when heat is applied.
Yes.
So this is at this point basically butter oil.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it is.
All right.
So now you can see the chicken has
Yes.
changed
It's gone from translucent to opaque.
opaque.
Yeah.
We'll start adding our spices. We'll go with a teaspoon of black pepper.
You know, and you were telling me before the show that you actually have sort of an order sometimes with your spices.
Yes.
There's certain things you're saying that burn a little bit
Bu-
quicker than others.
Quicker than others.
So you kind of do those heartier spices first?
First, yes.
Okay.
The black pepper and the cumin powder. And here we have the coriander powder.
Now, I know you make your own ground coriander and your own ground cumin. Do you make your own ghee?
No, unfortunately, I don't do that. But, you know, I can do it if
I'm
you
always
have some time.
I'm always amazed when I walk into an Indian market and I see, you know, if you go into a regular supermarket, you might find ghee and they're in jars like this big.
Yeah,
You
it
go
is
in-
becoming a popular item.
Right.
I've been seeing it.
But if you go into an Indian market, the
It's
ghee's in
upfront.
jars like this big, like a
Yes.
warehouse store.
So it's always upfront, the ghee.
Oh, okay, that's, yep,
So we are going to
they're
just-
coming through. Those spices are coming through. Oh, it smells so delicious. And I always love what adding turmeric does to a dish in terms of
yeah, the
color, right?
Yes.
Makes it so pretty. Look at that.
Just cook for a few more minutes.
And
here.
once again, another dish that can be made during the week. This is not going to take you too long.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can also substitute with meat. Meat, but beef as well as lamb
Lamb.
will go very well with this too.
Okay. Yeah, probably fish might not be so good because it would probably overcook, don't you
Cook,
think?
yeah. Fish is very tender, so you know we can't be leaving it for
Maybe
too
shrimp,
long.
maybe.
Maybe you can try.
Yeah.
We can always substitute it. Yes. Now we'll just go a little medium on this. Let it simmer for a few more minutes here, and then we can.
What are we going to add next?
Now we are going to add the tomatoes.
Our tomato salsa mixture.
Combination.
I
yes.
love that you
So we
are
have-
using salsa for this.
Yeah. Fresh chunky salsa.
But you know what, though? It
Okay.
makes complete sense. Salsa, tomatoes, onions, chili peppers, and cilantro.
Yeah.
Everything
so
that,
everything is
and
here.
maybe a little bit
and
of lime
it has a
juice
little
and
bit
salt.
of lime juice, or sometimes they have vinegar in
Right.
there.
So it makes sense. Everything that you would put in here anyway.
Yeah,
That is a good
I'll take
Indian
all of
food
it,
hack.
actually. Here's all of it. Right
I would say I did not come here today expecting to see you bring store-bought salsa, but here we are.
And when you are in a hurry or something,
Sure,
it's
why not?
always, it's ready to go too.
Why not?
So now
Okay, now at this point, how long does that need to cook for?
it needs to cook for another 15 to 20 minutes,
Okay.
and then it will be ready. So
Well,
and
I
then
don't think our viewers at home want to watch it cook for
Watch, yeah.
15 minutes. We'll take a break.
Yeah.
We'll get cleaned up here. We'll get ready for our next dish,
Next
and
dish,
we'll do that. We'll see you
Okay.
on the other side. Okay? Don't go away. Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I am in the kitchen today with Rana Samad. And Rana, you are making a dish called chicken karahi.
That's right.
And it smells amazing. And that had our chicken, that had our spices, it had salsa, fresh
yes.
salsa. And we're now, it's been cooking for a few minutes. We've got the chicken cooked through, and now you're going to finish it up.
Yes.
So tell us how you do that.
Now we are going to add some ghee.
The ghee. Okay, this is
Ghee,
the clarified
ghee,
butter.
And then we have julienne cut ginger,
Okay.
and some cilantro and some green chilies.
Perfect.
And that's our garnish. For
Great.
that. So we'll
Okay,
go ahead.
yeah.
So this is
And then I would imagine that ghee is just to sort of, kind of, it emulsifies the sauce a little bit, sort of
yeah,
thickens
and
it up.
gives a little bit of more taste and aroma in
Okay.
it. So gives a little bit of flavor here.
There we go. Yeah, you can
Yes.
see it sort of thickening up
Thick,
there.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Gives a little shine to it too. And we're going to put our julienne ginger in it.
Okay. And does that ginger needs to cook for a little bit, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, while just cover and let it sit there for a few minutes.
Okay, so just
Do
let
it-
the
yeah.
carryover heat
Yeah.
do its thing.
And then we just
Oh my goodness.
yes.
I cannot wait to eat that.
Right here and
Now, the second dish you're going to make for us is a lentil side dish.
yes.
And I know today you're using red lentils. And this, I see red lentils in the supermarket now.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to really look that hard for them, correctly?
There's a lot of variety coming out and getting more available in the supermarket.
Right.
these days.
Now, you have these soaking.
Yes.
Okay, and why is that?
So it will help us to cook a little faster.
So, when do you start the soaking process?
This was soaked for an hour.
Okay.
And, it's 8 ounces of lentil and 2.5 cups of water.
Okay.
So we have soaked it. This is one of the lentils that easily gets cooked quicker.
Gotcha.
As compared to the other lentils.
The green lentils or the brown
They
lentils?
will take a little long, so you can put
Yeah.
it for 5-6 hours.
Right, I can see that because these are very thin. They're almost like it's almost like confetti. And the other lentils that you're referring to, they're thicker. They're more of a bean
Beans,
almost,
yeah.
right? Okay, so soak them for about an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hour. So they are ready for
Okay, then at what point? What are we doing next after we soak these?
So the lentils, I have already pre-cooked
Okay.
some of the lentils.
You have that in a
So
pot
yeah.
over there?
So we will use that.
Yeah.
and-
I tell you what. Why don't you slide this
Okay.
pan over here?
Okay. Should I just put it here?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
fine.
it's and on the side we'll make our spinach tomato on the side, and then we'll just add it to.
So
the-
did you? Okay. So now let me ask you this: did you cook those lentils in the soaking water?
Yes, I cooked. I don't throw the water. This soaked water, I just move it into the pan and cook it.
Got you. Now it makes I was wondering why you were giving me measurements on soaking lentils. I've never, it's like, okay, cover it with
just
water.
help, yeah.
But say 2.5 cups of water
For 8 ounces.
for
yeah.
8 ounces of lentils, and then all of that goes right into the pot.
Pot and just get it boiled. I'm putting no salt, nothing. I'm going to put all my spices in the spinach, and that will carry on. And then for consistency, you can add a little more water. If you want a little thicker, you put less water.
And how long do they need to cook for before they're tender and ready?
It will take few minutes for the spinach to get ready.
No. I mean the lentils. How long did you cook the lentils
It takes
for?
8 to 10 minutes.
Wow, that is quick.
Like, yeah.
So that really does speed up the cooking time.
Yeah, so that's why we do it in 2 pans, so they go side by side, and then just add it to that.
Got you. Okay. It's funny because whenever I cook any sort of beans or legumes or anything like that, I don't salt it until the end as well. Because I've always been taught that salting those too early makes them tough.
And it takes longer. That's very right.
Okay.
For lentils, you put your salt in the end.
And the other thing about lentils is, as you can see here, this is a very delicate legume. So it's like one of those things that when it does come to the boil, you don't want it to be like a hard boil, correct? Yeah. You kind of want more of a simmer.
Yeah, just let it simmer. Just put it in high in the first, let it bring a boil and just let it simmer. And at the same time, you're working with your spinach and your tomatoes.
Otherwise, I would imagine it could just rip it apart. It could just turn it into mush.
Yeah,
okay.
We don't want to do that.
Okay. All right. So once you've got these cooked, everything else is just
yeah.
And we've got to see. How much spinach is this?
So for 8 ounces, I have taken 1 pound. 16 ounces of spinach, double that amount.
And I know that looks like a lot. This is going to cook down to nothing.
Yeah. And if you like more spinach, you can add more spinach.
That's always
but that balances out 8 ounces to 16 ounces.
That's always the most frustrating part if you're cooking spinach is the amount that you have to buy if you want to feed a lot of people, right? Yeah. And I see our salsa made it back here.
Yeah, I'm using the same salsa again, a little cheating going on.
Okay, and are we adding any spices to this?
Yeah, I'll put red chilies, and we'll have ginger, garlic, turmeric, and salt. That's it.
Okay.
No other spice.
Right.
No cumin, no coriander.
Okay. Are any of these ready to add to this yet, or are we waiting for something on?
No, we'll move and we'll start with the fresh
pan.
So
yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, we can just move it here. My fresh pan is ready.
I see what you got going on. So you're going to transfer that to that.
Yeah, or we can transfer this to.
Oh, okay. Maybe easier.
Maybe,
all right.
Yes. So again, we'll start using
with your oil again.
With the oil again. We're not putting too much because we'll be needing to garnish with some oil and cumin seeds.
Okay.
Just go ahead and put some ginger.
Yeah, I think that some people, lentils are one of those things that I think people a little misunderstood. I think it's sort of thought of as kind of just like a very kind of gray, bland food, but it's not. No. Not when you season it right.
And it's full of protein too, so it's kind of a substitute for vegetarian people.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of the meat and fish. Yeah.
I have no problem getting my family to eat lentils. They'll and the other thing, you can feed an army of them, army of people for like literally $1.
Yeah, that's.
I think I bought a bag of lentils the other day in the store. I think it was $1 for a pound. Yeah.
So it's good.
So our salsa just goes right in the pan.
Yes.
All right.
And then we are going to add some turmeric.
There's that turmeric again.
Yeah. And then we'll add salt a little later, and then we have our red chilies. We're not ready with it.
And what do we have there?
Red chili.
Just a real
but
cayenne
these
pepper.
ones, the cayenne pepper, but this is in a powder form.
Okay.
Right, so we have turmeric and that, and we'll saute it.
You definitely don't shy away from spice, do you?
Yeah. And then I will need to fit in the spinach right here.
There you go.
Big bowl here.
I know that looks like a lot, but it is going to shrink down. And the reason for that is that there's a a large water content.
Yeah. And we don't add any water or anything in
Right, and that's probably also another reason why you don't want to add a lot of oil to this dish
Yes.
either. It just overwhelms it.
And if you want to you don't need to have oil in here. If
Right.
you don't want it.
Probably just going into a dry pan. Yeah, it really is amazing. I mean, this once again, you've brought us another really, really healthy, fresh meal.
Yeah.
And something that's not, going to take a long time to make. I love this trick about soaking the lentils. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, cooking lentils in 8 minutes.
So this red lentil are the popular one. And then we'll just cover it and let it cook for a few minutes, and you will see the full pan.
Right.
Okay. And here
Wilt down to almost nothing. Thank you. Let me get rid of some of these dishes for you.
Yeah.
What else do you need still?
So I won't need this. Here you go back.
Okay. Great.
Just move it.
Yeah, you could almost, at this point here with these lentils, turn that into a soup, huh? You just add a few other ingredients there and you've got lentil soup.
Soup, yes. You can add the turmeric, and if you don't want to put salt, and it's ready.
Wow. And in Indian, you would refer to this as dal, correct?
Dal, that's very right. And instead of the spinach, you can put mixed vegetables too.
And spinach is sag.
Yeah,
sag. See? I got
good.
some skills.
And you cook sag, you can have this dish by itself and this separate too.
Right.
Yeah, and like the palak paneer, the spinach paneer is a very favorite dish too.
Oh, I love sag paneer.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Paneer, that is cheese.
Cheese, that's it.
You know what? I think the next time, can I make some requests?
Yes.
Next time, I'd like to see you make some paneer, and I'd like to
From scratch.
Well, but we can do it in steps.
Steps, yeah.
But I'd like to see you make some paneer and maybe like a mango lassi or something like that.
Oh, that would be delicious.
Okay, all right.
Compliments.
Beautiful. But I tell you what, while this is finishing up, we'll get cleaned up here, and we'll come back and we'll do some eating on the other side.
Okay.
All right.
We are ready
Perfect.
to do that. Thank you.
Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Community Cooking, and my favorite part of the show is here, and that is the tasting portion. Exactly. So just to recap, we have our chicken karahi, which you made a little earlier, and now this is the finished version of our lentils with the spinach.
That's very right.
You finished cooking the spinach with the salsa, added that to our lentils, and that was basically it, right?
That's ready for you, and then we have some garnish.
Well, you created a little condiment here.
Yes.
And all this was oil with some cumin seed and fresh sliced garlic, and then these little dried chilies that looks like something you'd find on the ground, but they're adorable.
Yeah.
And we just spoon this right on top, right?
Yeah, that's for the garnishing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how that's just going to bring a ton of flavor to this. Yeah. And I would imagine you don't have to be shy, right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I tell you what, let me dish you up a little bit of the chicken. Now, you were explaining earlier that you can really handle the lentils in a couple of ways. You could eat it as is, like
as
a soup,
yes.
or you can put it over rice.
Rice.
Okay.
Eat it with bread.
Or with bread.
Bread, yeah.
Beautiful. All right, well today we're just going to kind of, I think, eat it as soup. But I want to cut into this chicken first.
Chicken,
because this looks really, really delicious and smells so good. Oh,
how is the
my
ginger?
goodness.
How's the ginger giving you the flavor to it?
There's so much flavor in this. So much flavor. And you would never, ever, ever say there's salsa in this dish.
That's the trick.
That is really delicious. Wow. Wow. All right. Now, our lentils. I want to get a little everything.
Yeah.
What a
You want to try a little big chili with it?
Oh,
To be
really?
on fire.
All right, here we go.
But you'll enjoy this.
Okay. Oh, you know what?
How is the salt? Do you need salt?
No, it is perfect. I'm going to tell you something. That garlic is brilliant.
Yes.
It's so crunchy and
Crunchy,
good.
yeah.
Oh,
Gives
my
a
goodness.
little and flavor to it.
Oh, that is God's food right there. That is just awesome.
And it's a whole meal by itself. If you have
Yeah.
a big bowl, you don't need no meat, nothing. That's a whole bowl and pretty good for dieting.
Rana, thank you so much. You are awesome. I love everything. And going to keep your promise that you're going to keep coming back?
Yes, we will do that again.
All right, because I will have you anytime.
Okay. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having me.
And thanks for joining us. We really are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. See you next time. This is awesome.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.